Okay, good morning, everybody. It is 7 a.m. on the West Coast. I'm on a camp, and I am tuning into with you today live from the Bahamas, right? Yay! We're all getting excited about working toward earning this trip. I know every single person on here can do it. So if this is your very first time on our Profit in Your PJ Zoom, welcome. We welcome you with open arms. We know you've made an amazing decision to become part of our Nerium family. We do the Zoom every Tuesday morning, 7 a.m. on the West Coast. We have people tuning in from all over the US and some from other countries as well. Welcome, everybody. We are recording this. That does go up on my YouTube channel later today. That YouTube channel is On a Camp. So it's not On a Camp Nerium, it's just On a Camp. And if you subscribe to the channel, you will get notifications in case you miss this. But those of you that are on here today live, I know that you want it. And so today we are gonna absolutely bring it. We've got some great content. We have a couple of wonderful guest speakers that you're gonna get to hear from. And so I'm gonna share my screen with you and get us started. So here we go. There it is. Profit in Your PJs every Tuesday morning, 7 a.m. We are all working toward this, the Bahamas and Nassau. And guys, you know, I have, some of you may or may not know that I was involved with 2 other companies prior to this. And they had trips that were available to earn, but I have to be honest and tell you that they were only available for the top income earners, the people who could afford to go on these trips anyway. And I love the way that Nerium so brilliantly and so lovingly sets these trips out for us. Even a brand new person joining today or next week or even next month can earn this trip. And I really want to encourage you, all of you guys, to set your sights on this trip and set your sights on the 20,000 point, because aim high, win high. If you lose just a little bit off of that 20,000 trip volume point mark, you're still on the trip at 15,000. So guys, this is going to be amazing. It's a trip for 2, as you all know, and it will be beautiful. And I can't help but show pictures every week of this. It's on my dream board. It is front and center. What you focus on expands. And this is, we're going to talk today about how to get you there. Okay, so next week, the number one way, guys, to get this accomplishment done is through parties. We know that parties work. I'm seeing it every single day. I've seen it since the very beginning. In the very beginning, there was a whole group of us. It was, Karen DeSantis and Linda Lindsay and Teresa Walbrink. And we had gotten started all about the same time. And we had party after party after party. And it's what built our businesses strong from the get-go. We are huge proponents of parties. I'm still having parties in my own home. So I can't talk enough about this. Next week on August 29th and 30th, we're leaving the 31st, so you have time to close your month. So next week, 29th and 30th, that is on Wednesday and Thursday, we are going to be Zooming in for you to close your party. So here's how this is going to work. So you want to book those 2 nights for parties, and you want to do it ASAP. This will give you the perfect amount of time to invite people to come. You're going to invite people. You're going to start your party around 7. We usually try to invite for 6:30 so that we can get everything started by 7. And at 7:45, after you're done playing the video, maybe showing some pictures, you're going to be able to turn on your Zoom, and one of us will be there to close for you. So you guys could not ask for anything better than these national marketing directors, many of them with several stars: Libby Sanders, Annie Schwartz, Linda Lindsay, Jill Chisholm, yours truly on a camp, Kate Stevens, Karen DeSantis Meyer, and Vicki Downey. So all you're going to have to do is have your party. One of us is going to come on at the end and close it. You're going to need to get the Zoom code to Zoom into from your upline NMD. So this is not just going to be open for the whole world to, you know, pop on the Zoom and watch us close a party. This is going to be for those of you that are having parties and you're serious about having parties. This is the number one way to build trip volume, is by having parties. Why? Because you can have multiple people seeing the information all at one time. Okay, the action plan. This is the other what to do to work toward the trip to the Bahamas, the 10-5-1 plan. And this was rolled out, guys, at conference. It was an amazing training that we had. It was all about Go Prospect and our new sampling system. And I actually recorded that and re-listened to it again. It is brilliant. So we have now the availability to send the text, to send samples out. So you want to text at least 10 people a week. Guys, it's not hard to text 10 a day. So if you've got a big bad list, and if you're constantly working on adding people to your list, you're going to have lots and lots of people that you can text. So you're going to be texting out short text messages, right? You want to send out, and last night on Nearing University, if you didn't see it, go back and watch it, because I actually did the training on this, how to send out a text. So a text needs to be 3 things. It needs to elicit curiosity, it needs to be short, and it needs to end in a question so that your prospect comes back and wants more information. So go watch that if you didn't see it. Send out these 10 texts, at least 10 per week. Okay, I'm not mad at you if you do more. More is your miles per hour. You can go faster with more. Send 5 samples out through your Go Prospect app. Get used to this, practice this, work on it. Anything new takes time, and then make sure you send out 1 post per week about sampling. This plan of action will really start to magnify over the weeks. And of course, the most important part of all of that is the follow up. So next, quickly, I want to talk about this, destination success. We are all coloring our way to Nassau. So our Big Bucks Bingo page is no longer Big Bucks Bingo. It is now called Destination Success, Color Your Way to Nassau. And as you do each of these items here, you get to color in the picture. Next month will be a different picture with different requirements. Okay, these are high payoff activities, also geared toward helping you earn the trip volume, right? So we're doing everything we can as your leaders to help you earn this trip. So every single week we draw a winner. And so I want to bring on the winner. I want to show you who the winner is this week. And drum roll, please, without further ado, congratulations, Holly Johnson. So, oh my gosh, I love this picture. I just think it was so cute how she superimposed herself on this wave. Who knows, maybe it really is her. Holly, you'll have to text me and let me know about a little more about this picture, but I just thought it was super creative. And a special gift is going out to you, Holly, as our this week's winner. Congratulations, great job. Almost there, signed her 2nd new PC for the month and got that 5th sample out. Great job. So you guys, anybody can do this if you set your mind to it. And as you color, don't forget to post up there. If you're posting or you're coloring in that you did the RRP, you need to post pictures of your RRP. We want to see the fun that you're having, and we want to be inspired by your party. And then lastly, what I want to say about this too, we're approaching the end of the month. At the end of the month, we're going to have a drawing for everybody who got their coloring completed. Anybody that completed these items and got your picture colored all the way, all you need to do is let your upline NMD know so that we can put your name in the drawing. And next week we will be announcing the winner of the monthly prize, and we're going to tell you what it is. It is, by the way, cash. So I am going to tell you, you do want to get to coloring. Okay. Without further ado, I want to bring on 2 women who just exemplify all that Nerium is. These 2 work the system. These 2 are really, really big on the 10 core commitments. These 2 have gone out there and demonstrated that they have a zero excuse limit in their business and in their life. Janet Earlye is an amazing woman. She lives down in the San Diego area. She's an executive director. I want to tell you, when it comes to no excuses, this woman makes no excuses. She goes to work at 6 a.m., guys. In order to do that, she has to be up at 4 a.m. every morning. I am not going to get whining anymore about getting up at 5 on Tuesdays to do this Zoom. But Janet Earlye, she's amazing. She's a mom. She's a new grandma. She runs an incredible team. She's an executive director. We're going to hear from her in a minute. Caroline de Lima would not be, I would be remiss if I didn't say something so brilliant about you. You have such an energy, such an aura, such a grace and class and elegance about the way that you do this business. You attract people like a magnet. She's a mother of 2. She also works this around her busy, busy life. And actually, they are workout partners. We want to talk about the importance of workout partners and how this can work for you. So without further ado, I want to bring on these two. I'm going to stop sharing my screen. And if you guys could unmute and say hello so I can see you and hear you, that would be great.
Hello.
Hello, Anna. Thanks for having us.
Oh my gosh.
I love it. Janet, in the middle of your workday, you're in your car hiding out, aren't you?
I am. I'm so sorry I'm not in this brilliant background like you have, but I'm in my free Lexus, so that'll work.
That definitely works. That definitely works. I love it. Okay, so the topic right now, guys, is on workout partners. And so, sorry, Janet, I couldn't hear you. Were you talking?
Nope. I'm
okay,
good. Yeah.
Okay, there's a little bit of a delay in the picture. So so the topic today is about workout partners. And so I want to ask you guys, how did you first become workout partners? What was the story behind that?
Okay, well, I'm going to start with that one. And basically it happened at St. Louis at the Get Real conference in 2017. And I was down on the floor, and Caroline happened to be standing in front of me, and it was a part where it was really, everybody was jumping around. We were just having a good time. And I saw this woman jumping and excited and energetic. And I've been around Caroline because we're on the same team, so to speak. And so I basically, when we sat down for a break, and I tapped her on the shoulder and I said, "Hey girl, do you happen to have a workout partner right now?" And she said, "No, not really." And so we've become workout partners because I know that my personality, I need somebody with energy and just somebody who seemed like they were really excited to be in the business. So that's how I met. I just asked. It's that famous 3 letters.
That's amazing. Okay, so here's the question. Were you scared?
No, actually I wasn't scared, but I mean, what she could do was say no, and I knew she wouldn't say no per se, so I just asked.
Yeah, that's
Caroline,
awesome.
Caroline, what were your thoughts about that, Caroline?
Well, when you asked, I literally thought for a second, I don't really have a workout partner. And what I mean by that is I definitely talk to people about my business. Of course, I had at that point been in the business for 2 years, talked to my upline, worked with my team, but I did not have someone that was keeping me accountable, that was, really keeping me challenged to really do all of the things that I needed to do. And so it was absolutely the right moment.
Yeah, I love it, you guys. It's, I think sometimes that 3-letter word, and, I've done a ton of training on that 3-letter word that can make you millions of dollars, and that's ask. And I think sometimes whether it's asking for the sale or asking someone for, a coffee date or whatever it is, or even just asking for a workout partner, we don't do it. But I've always thought that when somebody asks something of me, even in the beginning when someone would say, "Can you do a market party?" And I went, "Oh my gosh, holy cow, I'm scared to death." Someone asked me, so I knew it must be that I needed to take that next step. And so I love that you guys did that. So tell me, you guys, what does a workout partner mean to you? And if you were looking for one, what would you be looking for?
Okay, I'll start with that one. So to me, it really meant a huge change in my business. It's what I was missing. It really was that, the commitment, 10 core commitment number 9 that I've been hearing about for 2 years, workout partner, but I did not have a proper workout partner. And to me, that made the biggest difference in my business because I have seen this past year really staying accountable to doing the things I say I'm going to do. In a day-to-day life, you get negative things coming at you. You may be tired at the end of the day. The kids, when you're just about to go down to bed and you haven't done your 2 exposures, and then you have a workout partner like Janet who texted me, within 48 hours one day saying she got 6 PCs, that made me get to work. That made me, okay, I got to get something because this girl just got, 6 PCs. What am I going to do? So to me, that competition, with that friendly competition, which is really inspiration, we're inspiring each other. I need that. And so it was what I was missing from my Miriam business for sure.
Mm-hmm. Jana, what about you? What do you look for in a workout partner?
Well, I look for commitment. I look for somebody who's going to hold me accountable. And one thing that I don't want in a workout partner, that I wasn't looking for, is it's not, a workout partner isn't somebody that you complain to or that, you share negative stuff with. Okay. I think that's really important because sometimes, we all get, like Caroline was saying, we all get hit with different things in our life and our day. But workout partner is not something that you use as a time to, complain, and it's a session for that. It's really to uplift. So I needed somebody who I saw that was positive, who exuded positivity, who actually, was somebody who I wanted to be around. You know what I mean? Like they were attracting to me, and that they were actually doing the high payoff activities, that they would be holding me accountable to those high payoff activities. So like Caroline says, well, when I did the 6 PCs, well, that's great, but what about the next day? And then the next day? And then we did RRPs in our houses because I needed to do one in my house. I hadn't done one in a while, right? So I did one, and then she did one. I mean, it's just bouncing off of each other. And somebody who's, I know this is funny maybe to say, but humble, somebody who can admit like, wow, because I had to admit that I wasn't working out with somebody on a regular basis, right? And so I wanted to do that. I've been in the business a while. I'm a seasoned brand partner, but I just never had that connection with someone that really made me work and do the activity. So that's what I was looking for.
So that's pretty awesome. And guys, it is one of our 10 core commitments, right? And
Yep.
And the people that really take this business seriously take the 10 core commitments seriously, not just 6 of them, but 10 of them, 10 out of 10. I loved Vicki Downey, I heard say the other day, your excuse limit or your excuse threshold, it's 0 limit, right? You have a 0 excuse tolerance. And so that's part of too what I'm hearing with you guys saying, that's what the workout partner really does as well. So how often do you guys, like maybe when you got started, did you have kind of guidelines or rules to how often you would talk? How did that work?
So when we got started, I think we said we would try to text every day and talk once a week. And just texting, kind of reporting the activity to each other, what we had done that day. And we'll share a little bit more about that too. But what we realized between the 2 of us that really works is we both have a lot of energy. And when something amazing is happening, we just call each other, So we definitely either talk or text every day. And we do have longer catch-up sessions, on a day that we know we both have time. But even if it's a quick call, needing a little bit more motivation to go follow up, to, plan the RRP. Even we know when we need to talk to each other, to just get that little push to do what we're kind of fearful of doing. So now it's pretty much every day. And, when I see Janet calling, it's like, we know something's going on. We want to share something exciting, or we're both trying to get to do something.
Yeah, I love that. If you guys are keying into this, one of the key points I heard there, Caroline, was that you guys communicate excitement. And you guys communicate when something's great is going on. And so what that does is that fuels the other person to have something great going on, to be able to communicate that back. and you notice there's no negativity. Like, you don't call each other. When I was kind of interviewing you both for this Zoom, and we were talking about it, it was really interesting to me that you guys, you don't call each other when something bad happens or somebody says no or whatever. You're calling each other with excitement, and excitement fuels and breeds excitement. So that causes the other one to want to go have something exciting happen as well. So that's the perfect marriage. I just see you guys at some point totally training on the big stage on this, just so you know. It's in my sights, and I know it's in yours too. So so I also want to ask, okay, so when you're accounting to each other, or your accountability, what activities are you accountable for? Like, what high payoff activities are you accounting for?
Reporting on. Great. Go
Reporting
ahead.
on.
Let's start.
Okay, sure. So we're definitely all focusing on trip volume, right? Because we're all going to be in the Bahamas here next year. So those high pay activities, so we want to do things that will bring us trip volume. So sit down, we want to focus on three-way calls, we want to focus on exposures, we want to focus especially on RRPs. So what we're doing is we're basically just letting people know, like, for instance, because this morning, by the way, Caroline, I handed out some shoes this morning as a sample at 6 in the morning. So just to let you know. But anyway, so we're always handing out samples as an example of that, right? So just anything that is going to produce volume and produce high payoff activity.
Yeah, exactly. And I love that you guys, I love the whole RRP part of it, because I know the longer we're in the business, sometimes we spend time doing a lot of RRPs for our team and helping the team, but we sometimes, we get so busy, sometimes it's hard to do RRPs for ourselves. And so that's the fact that that's one of the accountability points, and the fact that you guys are, every day it's activity, activity, activity. And I think that's brilliant. I know for me, when I first got started, my workout partner was my sponsor, and I didn't know that was my workout partner. But when I look back, there was a lot of accountability, and we talked every single day, and it was always about excitement. And when something crazy happened, he'd say to me, "Oh my gosh, so what? Pick him up on round 2. That was just round 1. We'll circle back and get him later." But all that positivity was great. And what I know about myself, and some of you might be able to relate to this, is that I know that for me, if I don't keep my head in the game every single day, I get totally distracted. And, it's like, squirrel, what am I chasing after now? And so I really knew, I knew that about myself. And so I figured, this time I'm going to do it right, because I hadn't had a lot of success before in this industry. This time I'm going to keep my head in the game. This time I'm going to do something every day in my Narian business. So even though I only had 30 minutes a day in the beginning, it was every day, 6-7 days a week, because I knew the further it got away from me, the further it would get away. And then the harder it would be to get back. And so I'm hearing that's really what it's doing for you guys too. So what kind of advice could you guys give to somebody out there right now who might be considering, especially after this training this morning, considering getting a workout partner? What would be some tips, or what advice would you give them?
I love that. Well, I think, Janet started with the ask, so definitely not to be afraid. But I think also not to be afraid to try it out. And, I think we're all one happy family, that we can all agree that you can try it out with somebody and just see how it works. Janet and I didn't know if it was going to work. We didn't know each other that well. We've loved each other's energy at that moment, but you really then had to get back home and see, are you going to stay accountable to each other? Are you going to be willing to be a little tough on each other when needed? Are you going to bring the joy and excitement that your partner, needs to have? And you don't know that until you try it. So I think you really do have to try it and say, hey, should we try being workout partners? Let's see if it happens in our schedule, in what we're both running for too. Because I think that's the important thing. You don't necessarily need to be the same rank, but I think running in similar ways. You know, I think if you have a little bit of a team, it's helpful to partner up with somebody else that has a little bit of a team. You know, if you're both coloring your pages, I think that's super important. If you're both running, I mean, we should all be running, you know, for the Bahamas, but I think you really want to find somebody that is wanting similar things out of their business at that time. And I don't think, you know, even though I think Janet's going to be my workout part forever, I think everyone should be open to just trying it out and not being afraid to be like, you know what, you know, I don't know if it's really working out for us with our schedule. Let's check out with somebody else as far as trying it. And then I think, you know, letting your team, letting your upline know that you're looking for a workout partner. I know Janet can share a little bit about that because I think people have been letting her know. Right, Janet?
Yeah, actually, it's kind of funny since we've become workout partners in this past year. Some people have noticed that on my team and have asked me, you know, gosh, who could I do as a workout partner? So I've been kind of like a little matchmaker and trying to ask people, you know, do you have one? Do you have one? So just being encouraging and letting, you know, the other people in Nerium, in our Nerium family, because we are one family, you guys. And the other point that I also wanted to make too, when Caroline was talking, it reminded me, because she's right, in the beginning, we didn't necessarily know each other that well, but what allowed us to become more familiar with each other is we both allowed ourselves to be vulnerable, because vulnerability is not easy, but when you allow yourself to realize, wow, this is where I can grow, you know, and it's a great thing. I mean, because it's all about growth, right? So it's just been such a blessing. And so I think vulnerability is a really good thing to let somebody know it's okay. It's okay to be a little bit fearful. It's okay to be, because it doesn't last forever, you know, and then that's why you have the partner, because as you share with each other and as you build with each other and as you do activities, you know, together and you just grow, and it's an amazing thing.
Yeah, I love it. There's a saying, it's so amazing listening to you too and watching, you know, the closeness that you've gotten, you know, you guys have gotten closer and closer by being workout partners, and vulnerability is a big thing. And sometimes our egos are in the way and we don't want to be vulnerable, but this is, you know, it's important as you grow your business. There's a saying, people are in your life for a reason, a season, or a lifetime. I can definitely see the reason. I know this is so your season, and I would be shocked if you weren't friends forever for the lifetime.
We will be.
Because you two are amazing. Anything you can think of that you might want to add before I close us out for the day?
Well,
Go ahead, Caroline.
I'll just, we're always, and by the way, Janet and I are always, we're literally calling each other at the same time, and we don't even know it. When she's calling me, I'm about to call her. So us talking at the same time, it's just how in tune we are. You know, I just want to add to what Janet had said, really back to the RRP factor of what we're really working to motivate each other right now. Like she mentioned, neither of us, you know, had an RRP at our homes for a little while. And we were both kind of like, you know, personally, I've been clearing out my home. We're painting outside. Janet was like, well, I have to do this. And you know, she did it. She did the RRP. And I'm like, if Janet did the RRP this week, I'm doing the RRP this week. And so I just thought it was, you know, I realized at that moment, as I do with every moment with Janet, but really realizing what a value she is really adding to my life and inspiring me daily. Not just in this business, but daily. And I have to bring up something that Karen DeSantis had mentioned yesterday on a Zoom really about the RRP, and we thought it was an amazing idea. But right now, running with ideas to get more RRPs going, Karen had said, you know, what if we were going out there and talking to our friends, our customers, saying that we're in this little contest where you've got to have somebody that's a friend, for example, that's a nurse, to help you host an RRP. You've got to go out there and find a teacher that will help you host an RRP. You got to go out there and find a spa that will help you host an RRP, and just kind of putting it out there to people to not only just, you know, focusing on necessarily RRPs we're doing in our home, even though we want to start there, but branching out and talking to our friends, whether they're coming near them or not, and saying that we have this little contest about doing RRPs and see where it will go, because we know that that's the winning ticket to Nassau.
It is. It is. RRPs are the key to that, big time. As a matter of fact, Caroline, we're going to be having one at a winery next weekend.
Yay!
Yay! I love that you guys get to report in through the Zoom this morning about your. It'll save you a phone call. Actually, probably not, knowing you guys. You'll be talking off and on all day.
We will.
I want to wrap up, but before I do that, I definitely want to highlight what Caroline just said, because if you guys missed it, it was probably the most brilliant tip this entire Zoom, and that is asking people you know to host a party for you. And if the word party sometimes is a little scary to your friends, maybe you could just say, hey, I'm being challenged. Let's say your girlfriend's a nurse. I'm being challenged to find a nurse who will have some friends over. I'll bring the wine, you bring the wrinkles. So, and let me just share my products with some of your friends. Sometimes the party word, when we're asking for help, is intimidating to our friends because they think, what if no one shows up? What if my house isn't perfect? What if I don't have an ice sculpture? They think some of those crazy things, but I love that because you can really use that. Whoever you're talking to, whatever profession they're in, you can say, I'm in a challenge to have, you know, somebody I know that's blankety blank. To have some friends over and, you know, let me share the products with them and have a great night. So love that tip, Caroline. Amazing. I'm going to share one last screen with you guys and wrap it up. And it is this one right here. Surround yourself with people who are really good and really passionate about what they do. Positivity and passion make a powerful combination. And this is the perfect way to end our Zoom today. I want to thank everybody for being on here. I want to especially thank Caroline and Janet for sharing their hearts, sharing their experiences. I hope you guys got a lot out of it today. Raise your energy, have that excitement, and you will make it so fabulous. People will be attracted to you like a magnet in all that you do. Show up and be fabulous. Until next Tuesday, have a great week.
Bye-bye.
Bye, everybody.
Anna.
Thanks,
Bye.
Anna.
Thanks, ladies.
Great one.
Thanks, ladies.
Great job, lady.
Bye.
Anna.